CRM or switch? CRM. 9 times out of 10, just get a CRM, but don't get a clunky one.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. The sun is shining on my coffee. I feel this amazing, beautiful energy. It's kind of like a lightness in the air. So I am so excited to be sharing in that energy with all of you and doing today's channeling session. I hope you're all doing really well. I would love to hear.
Yeah? Oh, I've got it here.
If you have anything that you'd like to share. And we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective.
Hello. Hello. Come on. Come on, push. Hello. 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 Wait. Push. Wait. I'm somebody like you. Da da da. I never thought I'd love somebody like you. Ow! Fuck! Ow!
here on YouTube. If you would like to receive a more specific message from the reading, I do recommend liking the video and making sure you are subscribed to the channel, because these are forms of transference and they do often allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. Okay, so I am going to get started today with the energy oracle cards, and we will also be clarifying with some of the traditional tarot cards as well. Now, the very first thing that came through today's reading was someone is realizing how magical you really are. I feel I'm picking up on someone here who has a person connected to them who is seeing you in a brand new light, and it's almost like they are in awe of you, or they feel as though they are seeing you for the first time. This seems to be someone who may have underestimated you, or at the very least, they didn't see you in this clear of a light. The person coming through here. Is someone who tends to be more skeptical, more logically minded. They seem to be very intelligent, but they also seem to underestimate the power of intuition. And of course, you are someone who is deeply intuitive and spiritually connected. And I feel like this is a quality about you that this person seemed to kind of try to brush off for a while or sort of overlook, but somehow this quality about you, what I'm kind of referring to here as your magic, seems to be coming through to them more clearly than ever before, to the point where they feel as though they're seeing it for the first time. I just keep seeing someone looking at you and just feeling in awe of you. Like, wait a second, how did I not see this before? And you guys know that I am a singer-songwriter, and I also channel lyrics in addition to channeling these sessions here on YouTube through tarot readings. And so one lyric that I wrote that I really want to share with you, because I wrote it a couple months ago, but it kept replaying in my head today. And so there's actually a couple lyrics coming through here that I want you to hear, because I feel like this is going to connect with you. So I'm pulling those up now. But also, if you haven't yet checked out my music, my artist name is Songs by Infinity, and
Mm-mm.
And the one for Rattle That Lock is the one on the French railway stations. I travel by train most of the time when I'm traveling in Europe. Not over keen, Paul is particularly not over keen on flight. And we find that we mostly get places pretty nearly as quick, much more genteel comfort by the train. And when you're in France, that's the SNCF jingle. It's, it's catchy. It's got a groove to it. It's catchy. I've recorded it with my iPhone, brought it back here, made up a tune, recorded it, played it to Polly. There you are. There you have it. She's
Whatever it takes to break, I gotta do it. I'm running it's the game to get through it. Rattle that lock and lose ocean. Rattle that lock. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh, no way. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm locking those chains. Rattle that lock. Mm-hmm.
managing 3 or more sons.
Hi. So some people have asked why is Elvis so small for his age? Elvis is around 13 months old, and he does weigh about 4.5 to 5. Elvis has cerebellar hypoplasia, but he also has something called gastroparesis. Gastroparesis makes it to where your stomach doesn't empty into your intestines very quickly. So food will just sit in the stomach, and it can cause stomach upset, it can cause malnutrition, it can cause vomiting. There's a lot of side effects to gastroparesis. Thankfully, Elvis is on medication, but unfortunately the vets weren't able to discover what was wrong with him until he was about 6 months old. So in those first 6 months of life, he really wasn't getting enough nutrition thanks to the gastroparesis. Once he went on his medication, he started gaining weight. His coat is absolutely gorgeous. He's just doing stellar now. But he missed that critical first 6 months where kittens do a lot of growing. So now, other questions that people have asked, does this have anything to do with cerebellar hypoplasia? Actually, it's pretty rare for cats to have gastroparesis or cerebellar hypoplasia. So the fact that he has both is just kind of really unlucky in his case, but it's definitely not something that usually goes hand in hand. So again, both are rather rare. Gastro is really rare in cats and dogs, but there are medications that can help them. So if you suspect that your cat may have it, talk to your veterinarian.
Hi, Bobby. He was having a really hard time getting adopted because one, he's a black cat, and two, he's a special.
Oh.
He's black cat. Oh, I love him so much. I'm Mandy, and this is Willie's story for GeoBeats. I have.
Let's go do it.
the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car, passing by.
Like a diver, I wanna go. There's no stopping me. Running through the sky, yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. If you're gonna play the keyboard, you gotta learn
You got to home. Want to come home.
A lot of people don't know that. If you're gonna play the keyboard, you gotta learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold it, know when to hold it, know when to walk away, and know when to run.
Wow. It's done. Yeah. Hello. Just check this out. This is funny. What's not funny? It's not funny, haha. It's funny. Awesome.
Yeah.
Mate Coach made me fucking steak. Such a lucky boy. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
You get very, very close. A little bit of a dead end. Go out and running. Out and running. Yep, car's still going, but it's kind of bumped into.
Cute cat. I love that little cat. Just yeah, lush, mate. Thank you.
And the one for Rattle That Lot is the one on the French railway stations. I travel by train most of the time when I'm traveling in Europe. I'm not over keen, Polly's particularly not over keen on flight. And we find that we mostly get to places pretty nearly as quick, much more genteel comfort by the train. And when you're in France, that's the SNCF jingle. it's it's catchy.
Got a groove to it.
Yeah, it's got a groove to it. It's catchy. I recorded it with my iPhone. Brought it back here. Made up a tune. Recorded it. Played it to Polly. And there you are. You have a sheet of. And the one for Rattle That Lock is the one from.
Now, but also, if you haven't yet checked out my music, my artist name is Songs by Infinity, and the best place to listen to my music is on Spotify. This is where new songs tend to drop first, and I do have a new song in the works. This will be my 7th original song that I'm releasing for all of you, but I do have 6 that are released already. And often I channel lyrics through these songs that are meant to connect with some of you in personal ways. So you may find some kind of message there for you. So what I wrote down here is, I've got a powerful imagination. You're more of a realist. And another lyric that just came through today is, you think it through from every angle, and baby, I just feel it. I'm trying to be cool, but I saw it in the tea leaves, and I dreamt it on the full moon, and I read it in the cards. Love wasn't too far away. Now here you are. Was it a coincidence? So I feel that the message coming through here is like, one of you, which obviously is you, if you're finding this reading, is deeply spiritual and intuitive. And I feel that the other person involved here may refer to you or think of you as someone who has a powerful imagination. And what they're realizing now is that it's not just imagination, that you're actually tapped in to something deeper. Now, there is another message. I'm getting so many chills as I'm channeling into this right now. There's another message coming through from your guides to you personally. And this message is to trust your own magic more. Because I feel that what's happened with this person and this situation is you've almost absorbed some of their skepticism. And maybe this happened very subtly or very subconsciously, but I feel as though you have this tendency to underestimate your own magic at times, to forget how magical you are, how intuitively connected you are. And I'm hearing something about the power of flow or the power of flow state. So you may be someone who has really mastered this art of getting into the flow state and manifesting from that place of flow, from that place of alignment, essentially. But there are many people around you who don't fully understand this quality about you, or who tend to brush it off or try to apply logic to it or label it as something else to make it more understandable to them. And this doesn't necessarily mean they have negative intentions or anything like that, but I feel as though I just keep getting the word leader. Like, you are meant to be the leader here, and you lead through embracing your own magic, trusting your own intuition, trusting that flow state that you know how to enter into, and trusting that it's going to lead you where you want to go. I feel that this video comes to you at a time when you are remembering your magic, or you're right on the brink of doing so. Not that it ever went anywhere. It's always been right within you this entire time. But I just feel as though you may have slightly absorbed some skepticism from an external person or source, whether it's this specific person in your life coming through this reading or certain other people around you. And so I feel like at this time, you are really pivoting, in a sense, back towards your how you can manifest very powerfully when you decide to change your thought process instead of your action process. So when you decide to focus first and foremost on the deeper energy shift, on shifting your thought process, changing your energy, and allow the actions to flow naturally. Because what I'm getting is, again, there may be people or influences around you who approach this the opposite way, who try to change or alter surfaces or surface level appearances or actions or outputs without shifting the deeper energy. But again, you are now.
Yes, last mate, thank you.
Or
No, spot on.
bring your magic, and part of that magic is your ability to shift energy on a deeper level and to see results and changes in the external from those deeper energy shifts that others will literally look at as magic.
Pardon? Yeah.
Turn it once and leave it cook, mate. You've got to do it. Otherwise you ruin it. Especially when you keep turning it, right, innit? That's lush. That's tender, isn't it? And everybody, that's the bollocks that they brought in, boy. The spears was going. Well, one of the spears was, it's the nicest, I think. That's why I buy it. They look at too much of that bad for you, don't they? I don't know. I think it's bigger than that. If you don't get out there, you'll have a look at bed later on, that's what you want.
Yeah.
That was a bit fucking. What did he say about it? Did he say anything about it? Did he say he's nuts or anything?
I haven't spoken to him since. We'll do later, babe.
Thinking he was lying, did he?
Yeah.
I wonder what he'd say about it. He'd be interested, I reckon, too. That's exactly the sort of thing we're supposed to happen, isn't it? Like that? Huh?
What?
Magical. Or fucking mental.
Oh.
I don't think it's magical, you?
No.
I still can't get over that fucking noise when we went out of there, though. That was vicious, wasn't it? That was it. Wasn't it? That was get out of my place. Garden. Good big, isn't they?
Yeah.
I could be there once, but always for it. I reckon that's all that they say about us being underground and in stone and that. I reckon that's just to fucking put you off. Never know. Yeah. Reckon? Yeah.
No.
Because you just said you went down the wrong track, innit? And they're putting your eyes all the time. I just can't really feel nothing in that first one. That's where it usually is in there. And I'm fucking telling you what, though, I'll swear to you now, right? That night last night, I've been there before. Seriously. And that was mental deja vu. It was so mental, it was unbelievable. It was quite freaky, really. It was. Surely, I don't know what that means, but fucking hell. God, I tell you, surely. Huh?
Yeah.
I did that. I've been there before that, on that moment. Crazy, isn't it? I reckon that's going to make them fucking shell stink, don't you?
What did you put her right there for then?
Huh?
What'd you put it there for?
I've got to put it on. It goes all the way down. That'd be all right.
Mm. Thanks, Kev. Yeah, lovely. Okay.
The word consistency is coming through really strongly as well. So the guides seem to be coming through to remind you to be very consistent with these deeper energy shifts within yourself. And a message seems to be coming through around allowing yourself to relax a little bit about the action aspect or about the external, to focus more on the deeper energy shifts and to allow that to open up new possibilities, pathways, and avenues for manifesting things that you're desiring that you may not have been able to see while you were caught in kind of this like labyrinth or maze of confusion where you were like outputting all of this effort and burning yourself out, but kind of disconnecting from that deeper energetic core of yourself through all of that. I just feel like this finds you at a time when you may have subtly allowed other people or influences to convince you that somehow you're not so magical or you're not so intuitive, or I just get the sense of like people trying to overlay their logic or their skepticism and dimming that magical intuitive quality about you in the process. But the beautiful thing is I feel that when you find this video, this really signals that pivot back to yourself, that pivot back to embracing that magic about you.
Yeah? What's his name?
His last name is Gale, H-E-A-L. H-E-A-L, I think. Right?
I'm looking now. Kev. Ah, Maggie. Iguana. Somebody say burn, baby, burn. Burn, burn, baby, burn. Burn, 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 Oh, my burn. Somebody say burn. You're a cheeky young girl, aren't you? Oh. Burn, baby, burn. Go inferno. Oh, God. Inferno.
About you in a deeper and really a more conscious way. I'm hearing that this is actually an opportunity to understand what I'm referring to as your magic more consciously. Not that it can ever really be logically understood, but it's almost like by valuing these qualities about you in a more conscious way, it allows you to hold to them more consistently and to be less swayed by external people or influences who may try to overlay logic onto your magic because they don't know how to connect with their own. Welcome to SAE Institute UK, the home of creatives. For over 40 years, we've been providing creative media. Try to overlay logic onto your magic because they don't know how to connect with their own. The people who are trying to overlay this logic onto you, it's almost as though they are disconnected from their truer self. They don't really know how to connect with that flow
I had
state within
somebody
themselves, with
say.
that intuitive aspect of themselves. So naturally, they would doubt anyone else's ability to do that because that's not something they're capable of doing. So again, I feel like you are meant to be a new earth leader, meaning you are leading in a new way of working, of existing, of creating, of structuring your life. And of course, this means that often people around you will temporarily misunderstand you because you are meant to stand out. You are meant to be leading the pack here, so to speak, which kind of brings me to some deeper messages coming through about this split in consciousness. But when I said consciousness, my guides came in and
Consciousness. Well, it very well. Oh, yeah. Oh, somebody say, "Down they burn." Inferno. I love out there. Thanks for the like. Oh, I feel fucking rough. Not what I saw. There's that there. Hey, Miss Peacock. How are you? We're just chilling. We're gonna have a nap, and then they'll be up and about later for more shenanigans. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Ciao for now.
some deeper messages coming through about this split in consciousness. But when I said consciousness, my guides came in and
Oh, come on.
said another way to think of this is a split in perspectives. So what you're going to increase
Bloody hell. Don't want to get free tonight. So, mate?
Put the white down on the phone. I can't keep opening it. You can't
What do you mean do?
open it. So
Drink it through.
open it. See if mine's right. Otherwise, I'm fucked. Otherwise,
You haven't read the message yet, mate.
how do you know?
It says it.
Oh right.
Brightness up, yeah?
Yeah, she keeps turning it down, mate. It's naughty, isn't it?
She's a fucking idiot, bud.
It's the volume. She turns the volume down again as well. She's a prick, mate. It's just. Oh, makes me angry.
There you go. So sorry.
Is that all? Is it?
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. Nice one, Phil.
Right.
You haven't done it yet, though.
No.
Oh,
increasingly notice in this new collective energy that we're in is that the split in consciousness or the split in perspectives is becoming increasingly evident. I don't know why, but I keep seeing dirt and someone like digging in the dirt. This could be gardening, someone planting seeds, something of that nature. But anyway, what I'm getting is that there is a massive split in consciousness, or again, a split in perspectives taking place on the planet. And you are feeling this split in perspectives in your very being, like in your cells, in your bones, in your own personal energetic field. And so one of these perspectives, and I'm going to be taking a sip of my coffee here because I feel like we're going to be going deep into the quantum realm in this portion of the reading. So if you enjoy the more quantum style reading videos, I have a feeling you're going to enjoy this part of the reading. But give me a moment here to have some coffee. Hopefully you have some kind of warm, comforting, or I guess an iced beverage as well. Either way, whatever suits you, depending on the weather where you live. But hopefully you have something to eat or drink or enjoy during this reading video. I've said this before, but I really love these videos to feel sort of just like getting coffee with a friend and having a conversation about spirituality or the quantum realm or the cosmos. And I don't know about you guys, but personally, I feel like I don't get a lot of opportunities in my regular waking life to have those kinds of conversations. And it's part of why I love and value this space we've created here on YouTube so deeply. So thank you for being part of that.
If you want to make a full-time income from home working part-time, you need to know this one concept because there is a new and better way to make money.
So thank you for being part of that. Okay, so this split in perspectives, we have the one perspective. This is what we sometimes refer to as the 5D or the fifth dimensional perspective. But again, you're feeling this split in perspectives within you, which means you may notice yourself flipping between perspectives depending on the day, depending on what kind of baseline frequency you've established within yourself that particular day, depending on things happening in your life or external influences. The 5D perspective is, in simple terms, an abundance mentality. This is you opening up to brand new potentials, possibilities, new systems, new ways of doing things. You can know that you're aligned with the 5D perspective because you feel this excitement, this eagerness, this exhilaration, but also a sense that you're stepping into the unknown and doing something that's never been done before. So when you are aligned with this 5D perspective, there's an excitement, but there's also a feeling of, on some level, I have no idea what I'm doing. This feels like it's never been done before in quite this way. These feel like new systems. The 5D perspective feels like an expression of your multidimensional nature. It feels like you weaving together all of these different aspects, parts, and pieces of yourself. I will give you a real-time grounded example on how I feel this in my own life. So you guys know that for years, I think for about 6 years now, I've been here on YouTube and we do these channeling sessions. I've also done podcast style videos. But just last year, I decided to start sharing my own channeled music. And this obviously is a whole different dimension of myself that prior to that point, I hadn't opened up here on the YouTube channel, although it's been a huge part of my personal life for 15 or more years now. It's something that I never imagined I would be sharing so publicly or tying into everything that I'm sharing and doing here on YouTube. And there was a lot of fear because I had spent so much time here really focused on
not well.
this one dimension, I
Because,
guess, of myself. And so the dimension where I'm specifically channeling energy through tarot readings and through these spiritual podcast videos. And so it was really scary to open up this other part of myself where I still believe it's a form of channeling energy, just like for any of you who are musicians or writers or poets or artists, or even those of you who have businesses or careers. I feel all of these things are creative, and that all creativity is really a form of channeling. So while I felt that same way about my music and my songwriting, it was still really scary because I didn't know how all of you would react to seeing this different side of myself, in a sense, in this different dimension of the way that I share my voice and my energy. And when I did take that leap of faith, in my opinion, that was like a form of this fifth dimensional expression, because the 5D is about letting yourself be this multifaceted expression of you that is not limited to just one thing, one angle, or one dimension. But it's scary because when you open up this greater expression of yourself, you're now kind of creating this whole web of energy, a kind of like ecosystem around yourself, instead of just hyper fixating on one specific thing or aspect of you. And it's like this breaking open, in a sense, where you feel more exhilarated, you feel more unlimited, but you also feel a little bit scared because you're no longer just hyper fixating on one thing or one aspect of you. You're letting yourself be and express more multidimensionally. I feel that many of you are doing this in different ways. And if you have any of your own anecdotes or stories that relate to this, I would love to hear about them in the comments, because I am so often inspired reading through your comments, thoughts, and stories. But essentially, this is you letting yourself be seen and heard and experienced as this like full-bodied experience of yourself, this multifaceted experience of yourself, and recognizing that when you do that, you're not diluting your energy, you're actually amplifying it on all fronts. Just like a diamond with more faces shines even brighter because it's reflecting more light. You are allowing more of your purpose and your passion and yourself to be reflected. And that is why you came here on earth to begin with, to be this multifaceted expression of yourself. But doing this requires a huge amount of trust in your path, in your intuition to guide you in this like dance with the universe. And that leads me to another trademark of this 5D perspective, which is it literally feels more like a dance. In the 3D, things are more linear. You can plan things out more rigidly, more concretely. You can kind of plan every step in advance. And there is this certainty, although my guides would say at this point, it's like this false sense of certainty, because really you're being pressed to jump into the unknown, to let yourself dance with life and with the universe. That's where all of your true
Like,
family used the device that makes you hallucinate and see visuals. This is how they reacted. This device is called
deeply. So thank you for being part of that. Okay, so this split in perspectives, we have the one perspective, I guess, of myself. And so the dimension where I'm specifically channeling energy through tarot readings and through these spiritual podcast videos. And so it was.
If you spit blood when you brush, your dentist might tell you to floss more. They are wrong. In Chinese medicine, we call this deep tissue decay. Big pharma and modern companies sell you alcohol-based mouthwashes and sensitive toothpastes. But these only coat the surface. They do nothing for the root cause. The real problem lives 0.5 to 1 millimeter below your gum line inside the periodontal pocket. This is where bacteria and inflammation eat away at your tissue from the inside out. When you only treat the surface, the disease keeps destroying the root. The tissue loses its grip. The gums recede. Today, we combine ancient wisdom with a modern delivery system in this specific teeth repair gel. It uses hyaluronic acid to pull moisture and active ingredients deep below the gum line. Then it delivers CoQ10, grapeseed oil, and aloe vera directly to the damaged cells. It attacks cellular breakdown at the source and starves the inflammation. Within weeks, your gums stop bleeding. The tissue regrows firmer and pinker. Your gums reattach to the teeth. A 30-second daily application blocks in results, and it comes with a 30-day risk-free guarantee. I give this exact gel to every person who walks into my clinic with failing gums. Comment gums, and I will send you the link to this exact teeth repair gel. Please like and share so I can help you and many others save their smile.
Hello, my name is Dr. Gomez, and today I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of zirconia restorations. Zirconia is the number one option for many dental professionals due to its biocompatibility and low risk to cause inflammation. Zirconia is also a great alternative material for patients that are allergic to metal. Furthermore, zirconia doesn't wear and has long-term color stability.
Energy through tarot readings, these spiritual podcasts. To open up this other part of myself where I still believe it's a form of channeling energy, just like for any of you who are musicians or writers or poets or artists, or even those of you who have businesses or careers. I feel all of these things are creative, and that all creativity is really a form of channeling. So while I felt that same way about my music and my songwriting, it was still really scary because I didn't know how all of you would react to seeing this different side of myself, in a sense, in this different dimension of the way that I share my voice and my energy. And when I did take that leap of faith, in my opinion, that was like a form of this fifth dimensional expression, because the 5D is about letting yourself be this multifaceted expression of you that is not limited to just one thing, one angle, or one dimension. But it's scary because when you open up this greater expression of yourself, you're now kind of creating this whole web of energy, a kind of like ecosystem around yourself, instead of just hyper fixating on one specific thing or aspect of you. And it's like this breaking open, in a sense, where you feel more exhilarated, you feel more unlimited, but you also feel a little bit scared because you're no longer just hyper fixating on one thing or one aspect of you. You're letting yourself be and express more multidimensionally. I feel that many of you are doing this in different ways. And if you have any of your own anecdotes or stories that relate to this, I would love to hear about them in the comments, because I am so often inspired reading through your comments, thoughts, and stories. But essentially, this is you letting yourself be seen and heard and experienced as this like full bodied experience of yourself, this multifaceted experience of yourself. And recognizing that when you do that, you're not diluting your energy, you're actually amplifying it on all fronts. Just like a diamond with more faces shines even brighter because it's reflecting more light. You are allowing more of your purpose and your passion and yourself to be reflected. And that is why you came here on earth to begin with, to be this multifaceted expression of yourself. But doing this requires a huge amount of trust in your path, in your intuition to guide you in this like dance with the universe. And that leads me to another trademark of this 5D perspective, which is it literally feels more like a dance. In the 3D, things are more linear. You can plan things out more rigidly, more concretely. You can kind of plan every step in advance. And there is this certainty, although my guides would say at this point, it's like this false sense of certainty because really you're being pressed to jump into the unknown, to let yourself dance with life and with the universe. That's where all of your true power is right now in that 5D space. So maybe it's a false sense of certainty at this point because you've already evolved beyond it, but there is still some measure of certainty to be derived from feeling like even intellectually you can plan out everything in advance. In the 3D, you feel like there is this rigid order to things. It's in a sense predictable to the conscious mind, but it also feels limiting and stifling. There's not the same energy, passion, or enthusiasm there in 3D. It feels more like putting yourself in a box or being put in some kind of box, but also it soothes that fear in the mind a little bit, that fear you experience when you are breaking through glass ceilings, jumping into the void, throwing caution to the wind, creating with your whole heart. All of those things you're doing in 5D bring up some ego-based fears. And so that 3D perspective kind of sneaks back in when you're feeling that fear and trying to soothe it with rigidity, with this false sense of certainty. It also strangely feels very urgent. It feels like you have to fix or resolve or solve everything in your life right now through this rigid plan or these rigid steps that just feel stifling to your soul, but almost feel necessary to that ego based mind. That's how the 3D feels. In the 5D, you're not trying to really solve anything, you're trusting the solutions unfold themselves naturally in this beautiful, unpredictable, but powerful dance that you're engaged with. And just like with dancing, when you're focused on your feet or you start overthinking your steps, you begin to stumble. That's how it feels in the 5D.
This is a sign to ditch the instant coffee. This is way better. You see, coffee should be one of the healthiest things in our diets, but research shows that instant coffee contains 4 times the amount of mycotoxins as regular coffee, and is often dark roasted, which destroys most of coffee's healthiest compounds. That's why over 100,000 people have taken our free trial and switched to Excel Healthy Coffee. Just click the link and tell me where to send you a free bag of coffee. I'll even cover the cost of shipping, so it's completely free. But you didn't just click, you're still watching, which might be because you think it sounds too good to be true, or maybe it's a scam. I get it. A bag of organic, specialty grade coffee delivered to your door for free costs us a fortune. In fact, it's one of the most generous offers on the internet. Well, the reason I can do it and not go bankrupt is because most people who take a free bag taste how delicious it is, feel amazing, and become lifelong customers. Not many companies can say that, which is why you don't see anyone else offering completely free trials. But look, I could talk all day about how it tastes indulgent and chocolatey, how it's packed with polyphenols, which support gut health, brain health, and even slow down biological aging. But I won't. I don't expect you to believe me. Let me prove it to you instead. Click the link and try it for free yourself, completely free of charge. The risk is all mine, and then make your own mind up. If you want to do some background research on us first, then look us up on Trustpilot, where you'll see we're one of the most trusted businesses in the UK with a near perfect 4.9 stars. Or you could also look up Dr. Ruki, who's our Chief Science Officer, and has spent 4 years helping us craft a coffee that has health benefits in the same league as fresh fruits and vegetables. Or you could read about my story on our website. Hi, I'm Al. With my wife Kirsty, we launched Excel in the middle of lockdown in 2020 after a long, painful battle with my own autoimmunity. I'd hit rock bottom, and I'd got to the point I cut so many foods out of my diet I was afraid to eat everything because I was worried was going to flare up my symptoms. I was spending hundreds every month on supplements that had zero noticeable effect. And worst of all, I had no energy and no motivation to properly engage with the kids. But here's what transformed everything and helped me quit my day job as an unfulfilled accountant to launch my dream business, and what gave me the energy to complete a 100-mile ultramarathon with 27 hours. Instead of adding more pills and powders, I started upgrading what I already consumed daily to versions that actually supported my health rather than worked against it. It's that simple. And the biggest opportunity? Coffee. Have you seen it? Trust me. And this is the biggest reason why I want to click the link and take a free trial and upgrade your coffee to Excel Healthy Coffee. And it's because coffee is one of the most heavily sprayed crops on earth with pesticides, and it's often contaminated with molds and mycotoxins, compounds that can trigger brain fog, histamine reactions, and actually will drain your energy. One study even found 91% of coffees contain mycotoxins, and up to as much as 4 times the safe legal limit. And it also said 12% of our total exposure to mycotoxins comes from coffee alone. And the easiest way to avoid them is to upgrade your coffee to Excel by taking our free trial today. To get the free bag of coffee shipped to your door, also for free, all I ask is that you create a plan. But you have 14 days before the plan converts to a paid subscription, during which time you can easily cancel anytime back on our website in just a few clicks. Or email us on hey@exhalcoffee.com. My sister-in-law Laura, who runs our customer services beautifully, will help you and even do it for you. We'll even send you an email reminder 3 days before the end of the trial. And if you're not ready for more coffee in 14 days, you can easily push back your next bag. But if you want to try a different coffee, you can swap it too. It's all infinitely flexible. Being healthy shouldn't be a chore, and it shouldn't even be something you have to consciously think about. And it definitely shouldn't be something you have to give up your favourite foods and drinks for. Which is why I spent 5 years obsessively researching the science of coffee and health before creating Exhale, a coffee that's ridiculously indulgent and seriously good for you. It's like turning your health on autopilot. Imagine waking up tomorrow, reaching for your morning coffee, feeling energized and refreshed without the jitters or crash. That's what awaits you when you upgrade your coffee by taking a free trial of Exhale. All you have to do is tap the link in this ad and tell me where to send your free bag of organic, specialty grade, fresh roasted, high antioxidant, high polyphenol coffee that's pesticide free, mycotoxin free, mold free, independently lab tested, and we're even a B Corp use plastic free compostable packaging made from 100% renewable plant based sources, and pay our farmers 55% more than the fair trade price for coffee. Or instead, you could keep drinking coffee that makes you feel like your brain's on fast forward. Okay, I'll stop there. I'll just give you a few more seconds. Click the link while I have a sip of my healthy coffee.
kind of have to leave the mind out of the equation to a certain extent and let yourself be moved by passion, be moved by life and by emotion. In the 3D, there's more of this intellectualization of your feelings, like trying to intellectually understand even your emotions instead of letting yourself dance with them, letting yourself be moved into creation by them. In the 5D, though, what's so beautiful is it's sort of like when you get an inspired action step, you throw a dart and hit a bullseye right away. Whereas in 3D, you may have this rigid plan, like I'm going to throw 100 darts today because logically one of those should get close to a bullseye. So you're expending all of this effort in 3D trying to get that bullseye through this rigid plan that expends so much physical effort, but you're trying to kind of work the odds. In 5D, the odds, the logistics, the statistics, they kind of all go out the window. It's about creating from your soul, taking those inspired actions and letting your spirit be moved directly to the bullseye in some like perfectly timed divine moment, as opposed to trying to create some rigid plan that works the odds, so to speak. Because in 5D, you're literally tapping into magic. You're not bound by things like what other people consider luck or chance or odds, because you're working with a higher energy. Many of us right now are feeling this pressure, this split of perspectives, because we're being pushed to work with that higher energy, with that true magic within us. And we ourselves have actually evolved internally to be able to hold that higher energy in a more consistent way, to work with it more consciously. But many of the people, things, and systems around us are still more so in that 3D based state, which of course they themselves are also ultimately evolving more to 5D. And we are leading the way in the new earth in all of that. But it can be very challenging in the moment to hold a higher energy when so many people, things, structures, and forces around us are still in this more rigid, like logical based reality, so to speak. I'm hearing it's all about a shift in perspectives. And what you're going to notice is that we're BetMGM Casino, coming to you live from the strip, straight to your fingertip. BetMGM Casino is the UK's only online casino with real Vegas roots. Play all of your favorite games, plus BetMGM exclusives. And if that ain't enough, how's this for a warm Vegas welcome? Play £10, get 200 free spins. BetMGM Casino. If it ain't us, it ain't Vegas.
Two names, born from a fascination with speed. One measured it, the other mastered it. More than a century later, their stories meet again. Breitling and Aston Martin, time and speed reunited.
Is that when you work internally to shift the angle at which you're looking at certain things in your life, to see them from that higher perspective, that more 5D perspective, you're going to find that you naturally tap into this magic and this flow that moves you forward in such powerful, beautiful, but also unexpected ways that literally astonish the people around you because they can't quite figure it out. It's almost like they're trying to get your formula, but there's no formula. It's just your magic. It's your frequency. And so the key here is to trust yourself and to trust your own evolution enough to hold that higher energy in the face of being surrounded by so many people, structures, and things that may not have yet learned within themselves how to hold that higher energy, to recognize yourself as the leader that you are, and to trust that you are leading the way into these higher planes of existence, doing things like we mentioned earlier that have literally never been done before in this way. And I hope that this video has been a reminder for you of your magic, a reminder that you can trust that magic and keep flowing with it. I know that we've already channeled for like 25 minutes without even pulling a single card. And that's because of all of the powerful, beautiful energy that so many of you have brought here. So thank you for your presence, for your energy. Know that these readings are timeless. They are not bound by time, space, dimension. So whenever you find this reading video on your timeline, in your reality, I strongly believe it finds you for a reason, but also your energy impacts this channeling, whether you are tuning in 10 years in the future or whether you are tuning in right as of when it's being posted, wherever you are in the world, your energy is felt and it's present here. So thank you for being part of that co-creative process. So now, finally, I am going to be pulling some cards for you. Of course, after this reading, I will be channeling a bonus reading for members both here on YouTube memberships and Patreon. So if you would like an additional bonus channeling, then you can join the memberships either through Patreon or YouTube memberships. And if you join as a member from either platform, you get access to 3 additional exclusive bonus readings just for members every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, channeled around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with these reading videos. So I would love to have you there, and the link for today's extended reading will be in the pinned comment and description box below. I feel that it may be sort of a separate channeling, so it may have its own title and thumbnail separately, but it will be using this energy from this reading as a jumping off point. So if this reading has been connecting for you, then that may be a sign that there's a message for you in that extended reading as well. So we have the cards today and also the card healing, self-care, introspection, and meditation. So I feel that when this video finds you, by the way, I'm hearing something about a birthday. Maybe someone here is celebrating a birthday or has one coming up soon. If so, happy birthday. But with cutting ties here and stagnant and also nurturing. Okay, so I am getting the energy of someone who just like immediately, I'm talking today or this morning or in the last 24 hours, someone who has been really cutting ties with a stagnant energy within themselves and breaking free to some kind of a higher perspective. This is what I meant when I said earlier that this video seems to find you at a time when you're tapping back into your magic. I'm hearing you're finding your own freedom, but my guides kind of corrected me by saying you're actually recognizing the freedom that has never gone anywhere. You've always been free. You've had this freedom. You've had this seed of a breakthrough within you. But the way that you're tapping into it in a more conscious way right now is through some kind of nurturing of yourself. I actually kept getting the visualization earlier of someone like moving against a crowd. There was this crowd of people moving in one direction, but almost like urgently, frantically moving in a direction, rushing in a direction, and you were just slowly, leisurely walking the other way. And what I see is that there's someone here connecting with a stillness within themselves, with a peace within themselves. The image that came through yesterday was someone dancing in the middle of a storm. And I guess now, with all of that dancing imagery we talked about in connection with this like 5D perspective, dancing in a storm imagery makes even more sense in that context. So there's this storm around you. Maybe that's what's happening in the 3D. Maybe it's the fear or the uncertainty that you even feel at times within yourself, because again, this shift in consciousness or split in consciousness, the 3D versus 5D, that split in perspective is something that you're most likely feeling even within your own being. But what I'm getting is you're dancing in that storm. You are not letting the fear override your intuition and this knowingness of where you're going. And I see someone slowing down when that fear is trying to tempt them to rush and to jump into urgency and to take action, like burning themselves out from that place of fear. It's like they're feeling all of that. That is the storm. But instead, they're telling themselves, no, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to reconnect with myself. I'm going to nurture myself. I'm going to rest deeply. I'm going to sleep more. I'm going to take care of myself and trust that everything is going to flow magically, powerfully, and beautifully from that balanced place within myself. And that is the shift that I feel within you. It requires so much bravery to let yourself slow down and nurture yourself when there is that storm around you or that fear coming up telling you you have to be rushing in that direction along with everyone or everything else. And so I really honor you. Okay, first, this point on your path, because I see you at this place where you are choosing today, because that card today came out here. I feel like as of whenever you're finding this video, this feels like a very in the moment energy. You're choosing today this fierce energy of rest, cutting ties with a stagnant energy within you that was kind of keeping you stuck in that 3D perspective, keeping you like frozen in a burnout loop. And you're cracking open to this higher perspective, this more fifth dimensional perspective, but it's coming through the deeper rest and self-care, not jumping into urgency, not burning yourself out with action, but like we talked about earlier, focusing on shifting the energy beneath the surface rather than the surface level action, letting the action follow the energy in that inspired way where you get moved to some kind of dance that leads you right to that bullseye, to kind of combine several different visuals that came up during today's reading video. So like I mentioned earlier, we are going to be continuing this to a bonus version of the reading. So if you'd like to check out more about that, I will be leaving more details on that in the pinned comment or description box below. Otherwise, I hope you all have a truly beautiful, wonderful start to your week. I would love to hear from you in the comments if anything resonated for you personally. And of course, if my energy connects for you, I invite you to subscribe and turn on notifications so you get notified whenever I post new readings like this, or whenever I go live, because I have started to go live as well, and I love interacting with all of you in the lives. So by subscribing and turning on notifications, YouTube will let you know when I'm live here on the channel, so you can participate, ask questions, hang out on the live streams. They're really powerful, beautiful spaces. And speaking of which, I'm really excited to do one of those again soon. So let me know if you are interested in another live stream here on the channel. But anyway, I am wishing you all a lovely Monday, and I will connect with you here again in Wednesday's collective reading. Feel that there are certain almost limitations, boundaries, or barriers around your connection in the physical and how it shows up in the physical. But with the heart chakra card, I see this underlying energy of pure love and support that just seems to flow between the two of you. Now, the feeling that I'm getting around this is that this reading may come to you at a time when you are feeling pressure, either internally, pressure you're imposing on yourself, or externally, pressure from society, or maybe a specific other person that is telling you that you need to be doing something different with this twin flame connection, that you're not handling this in the proper way, or it's almost like someone is trying to project something onto this journey or onto this connection. And so this reading is finding you at this very specific time to remind you to stay connected to your own inner knowing here, because I feel that you are, and I said this earlier, but it's worth saying again, you are more intuitively guided than you give yourself credit for. The sense I get is a divine feminine who's actually feeling her way through the dark, actually staying connected to her intuition in such a beautiful way, and yet questioning herself at the same time, wondering like, wait a second, am I really listening to my intuition? Am I correct to be doing things in this way? It's like you're taking all of the right steps and the right actions, but then questioning it because somehow it looks messy from other people's perspective, or it looks like a gray area, or it doesn't look like it's happening on someone else's timing or in society's expected timing. But I feel, again, a core part of your purpose here on earth anyway is to throw off those expectations around timing, to live a truly beautiful and unconventional life in your own way. And this twin flame connection with your divine masculine seems to play some kind of role in that for you. And yeah, this is your path with the temple path card in the upright position. When I pulled that card, it gave me a little jolt of chills, because I feel like we've been channeling into something so multi-layered and complex and nuanced, and like it's this whole gray area. But then we get the card that literally represents you being on your highest pathway, you being on your highest timeline. it's almost like the message coming through is you're already on that pathway. You're already doing all the right things here. You're navigating this intuitively and so much better than you're giving your subconscious credit for. But recognizing that truth within yourself is going to bring you so much ease and so much peace, because the feeling that I get for this divine feminine is that there's this heaviness that comes over you sometimes when you feel as though you're not doing things in the right timing. But ironically, I feel that you are doing everything so perfectly correctly in the same way a professional dancer is like flowing and moving to the music, but they're also taking every step carefully and correctly. I feel like you are connected to that kind of like sensual sacral chakra energy. You're in flow with the universe. You're dancing with life, with the universe, so to speak. And it's like this beautiful, messy, complex dance, and yet every step is perfectly timed within that flow. That's the best way I can describe what's going on here for you. And so, really, the message is with the cornucopia card that the more you can release this guilt and this self judgment by accepting that you are precisely where you need to be in your life and on this journey, that you have been taking all the right intuitively beyond what you've been giving yourself credit for, and that everything is unfolding itself and you are aligned with your highest pathway. Even though it does look unconventional, it's still unique and beautifully yours. As you recognize and really lock in more of that knowing, it's actually going to open you up to a beautiful new energy that is going to let you manifest more beautiful things and experiences and connections into your life. It's almost like the only thing that's been keeping you a little bit disconnected from that manifestation power right now is this like false programming in your own mind around your timing, around what this connection needs to look like, around maybe the unconventionality of your life generally. You didn't come here to be conventional. You came here to earth to wake people up. And so that feels like a really beautiful place to close the reading. And if you would like help clearing some of those false limiting belief systems that you store in the subconscious, the subliminals I create can be really helpful for that. And the Twin Flame 7 chakra clearing is a great place to start. But there's also a feature in my app where you can input your own goals or ideas and get back a subliminals playlist tailored just for those goals. So again, the link to get my app and get started with that is in the pinned comment or description box below. Otherwise, I'm sending you all so much love. Have a beautiful day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.
It's a ship. There's another ship in this system with me. Humanity isn't alone in the universe. And I've just met our limits. Thinking is, in my opinion, the highest function that we're capable of. And the problem is most people do not think. And when you say that, I remember Old Nightingale one time said if the average person simply was thinking, he would be speechless. You hear that, you sort of laugh and say, that's cute. It's also true. If you listen to most people, they'd never say what they were saying if they were thinking. And if you observe their behavior, they'd never do what they were doing if they were thinking. So, although it's the highest function we're capable of, very few people do it. I think the biggest mistake when people are formulating their thoughts is that they think too small. They think in terms of past experiences. Most of what we're going for is based on what we think is possible. What we think is possible is based on our past experience. It's what we already tried, somebody else tried, something we heard, something we read, something we saw on television or in a movie or in the news. And we don't stretch. We don't think big. I actually think we should be thinking so big that other people will think we're crazy
the big mistake people make when they're thinking is thinking too small, thinking too safe, thinking too comfortable. We can create at any scale, large or small. The size doesn't really matter. The real question is, do you see it in your mind? You see it clear enough to begin the creation process. A vision or a goal that is specific and clear becomes attainable and near.
There is a misconception about the connection between your thoughts and the things you experience. Most people think that thoughts are actually bringing these things into existence, and for the most part, that's not actually true. Everything that you want or sincerely desire already exists in some form or another, even things that haven't been invented yet. Pause for a moment and observe that the seeds of inspiration that led to those inventions are all around us. They appear in the form of problems to be solved and solutions that we need. These problems, challenges, and questions are ready to whisper to those who will listen. Those who hear these whispers and think on them with imagination will become the creators of the inventions we have yet to experience.
It began as a thought. I don't care if you wanted a car, you wanted a house, you wanted a relationship, you wanted better health, you wanted spiritual awakening. I don't care what it is. You want a movement to end war. I don't know what might come to mind, but the idea is it begins with a thought. So the correlation is thought will lead to concrete reality.
The universe, the unified field, respond back to us, sending back to us an equal amount of energy at the corresponding frequency, vibrational frequency that we have sent out.
More often than not, we'll say, gee, I always like to get that, or I'd like to have this, but we really don't pay attention to it. And when it shows up, the first thing we do is that thought comes up that says, well, that's only for the lucky people. That's only for people who know what's really going on. They know how to run their mind. They know the secrets. Well, the secret is you're never disconnected. The question is, are you really willing to connect on the inside and then direct your thoughts to what you want so that they line up with what's already out there on the outside?
Nothing's created or destroyed. If nothing's created or destroyed, everything's already here. It's not a matter of getting it, it's a matter of tuning in to what's here.
Everything that exists and ever will exist already exists. The question is, are you tuning your thoughts into what's already existing so that you can actually ride on that same plane with it?
I like the way the Maharaji put it. I heard a story, I don't know if it's true, but when he was deciding to take transcendental meditation to the world, one of his key people said, that's going to cost a lot of money. Where's the money going to come from? He said, wherever it is right now. Of course, he was telling the truth, because that's where the money does come from, wherever it is right now. You got to attract it. But you see, if you have lack and limitation in your present results, you don't worry. You build an image of the good you desire. That's when you start thinking, and you build the image of prosperity, and you internalize that. Then you'll move into the vibration and attract it. Everything operates on frequencies. And we're in the frequency of what we don't want generally. We've got to move on to the frequency of what we do want.
Speaking about money and abundance, one of my mentors put it this way. He said, they're always printing money at the mint. Every single day. They don't stop. And you get to decide how much of it will come into your life.
What we think about inside is directly connected to what will occur in our reality outside. Most people are not authentically connected to the things they truly want, so they never manifest the things that will make them happy and fulfilled. When we try to connect with things that are not in line with our highest values, we will always struggle to manifest them. When we connect to those things that are authentic to us and in line with our greatest values, we don't have to work very hard to start seeing results.
Second by second, your brain is changing. It's impossible not to have changes in the brain. It's neuroplastically remodeling itself second by second.
Our inside world and our outside world are always connected. The question is, where are we asking ourselves to disconnect? And that's what social media and TV really does. It takes us to another world, and then we start doing compare and contrast models with ourselves. Am I good enough? Is that successful? Am I tall enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I smart enough? Am I educated enough? Do I have enough money? Do I whatever? Do I have enough followers? One of my favorite ones. How many subscribers do I have? Okay, but here's the thing. If all of that was really, really real, Every single person on the planet would be doing it, and they're doing it authentically. Why? Because the people that necessarily on social media who know do it from a certain point of view want to portray a certain image of themselves. And the moment they're portraying that image, it's so that you perceive them that way, and you can follow or subscribe. But it doesn't mean that's who they really are, and has very little to do with you. Because again, they're showing a perception. You're then perceiving that perception with your own filters, and next thing you know, there's this third world that's been created. Their invitation, your perception, and now you're over here. We're so disconnected from what's authentically ourselves, we can't see the forest through the trees. When you compare yourself to others, you'll inject the values of others into your life, and you'll try to be somebody you're not. And that inauthenticity stops you from shining your magnificence. So wisdom is basically setting out thoughts that are truly congruent with who you truly are.
Fucking hell. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, that ain't me.
I'm howling at the sky, not sure if he hears me. A curve in my spine. God knows I'm here, time after time after time. Afraid that you'll leave me if you don't do the healing. Am I overreaching? Pushing you away, maybe I'm always keeping. Cause I'm not the high that you chose. Listen, always like this when my fist up, always fight.
Oh.
I'm howling at the sky, not sure.
Mm. Mm-hmm. God.
Someone is yearning to lay closely in your
Mm. Mm. Mm.
I'm howling at the sky, not sure if he hears
this with my fist up, always fighting. It's the home that I grew up in, the one that I survived in. And sometimes I need reminding, the wounds are meant to heal on their own. So I let you choose, even if we both lose. But if you wanna talk on the day to feel it all, I'll be waiting for your call. Tell you how it's not your fault, even though we know that's not true. I'll look for every last excuse.
Oh, fuck off.
When budget is limited, you need to know what's
Maybe I'm not worth keeping, 'cause I'm not the high that you chose. Listen, always like this with my fist up, always fighting. It's the home that I grew up in, the one that I survived in. And sometimes I need reminding, the wounds are meant to heal on their own. So I let you choose, even if we both lose. But if you wanna talk on the day to feel it all, I'll be waiting for your call. Tell you how it's not your fault, even though we know that's not true. For every last excuse, attend to all your wounds, 'cause that's just what it do. The day that you wake up, I hope I'm still around to pick up when you need me to. I know you're growing tired, I'm so aware of every feeling. I can't save you from afar, 'cause you're quiet when you scream, like a bird in a cage who is used to its great. You could fly far away, but you stay where it's safe. And I'll never lay the blame, no, I'll carry the weight. It's my curse to understand, but my God doesn't hate. Now his head in empty space, collecting dust, what remains. I made a home inside your heart. I let you mine to break, to break, to break, to break, to break, to
love you, miss you. So I call it, do my bi-weekly annual phone call and say, hey, I love you, I'm proud of you. Talk to you soon. But call me whenever you can. I know you're busy. So I'm here for you. I love you. I love you a lot. Call me whenever.
Their house would break down. So I just want to make sure you're safe. I love you. I'm
Let's catch up sometime soon. You've been on my mind, in my heart always. I just know that I love you so much. All right, babe. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Hey, kiddo. Just want to say hello. Hope you're okay. Let me know what the latest is. Awesome being with you, and can't wait to see you again. Call me when you do.
We are all literally goofy. We all do this, right? And that is why.
Oh there. Oh there. Wait. Oh yeah. What is this?
Our best sales decision, switching to Pipedrive CRM. Now I see every deal in one intuitive pipeline. And automations free up time for me.
I wasn't planning on making this video today, but something has been bothering me. And I think it's because it's meant for whoever is watching this right now. You've been abandoning yourself in small ways. I'm calling it maturity. What I mean by that is you've been saying yes when your gut has been screaming no. You've been shrinking your opinions to keep the peace. You've been tolerating situations that make your skin crawl because leaving feels dramatic. And every single time you override your own instinct to make someone else comfortable, you teach your subconscious one lesson. The lesson is my needs don't matter. But I get it. You're not a confrontational person. You don't want to be difficult. You grew up learning that being easy to deal with meant being loved. So you became the person who adjusts, who accommodates, who swallows what they actually feel and serves everyone else's comfort first. And now, your manifestation is stuck and you can't figure out why. Because you're doing all the right things externally. But internally, you've been abandoning yourself 3 or 4 times a day for years. Think about a bank account. Every time you honor your own boundary, that's a deposit. Every time you override your gut to keep someone else happy, that's a withdrawal. And you've been withdrawing for so long that your self-trust account is overdrawn. Your subconscious is bankrupt on the belief that you will show up for yourself. And the subconscious that doesn't trust you to protect your own boundaries absolutely will not trust you to handle the abundance that you've been asking for. Why would it give you $100 million if you can't even say no to a dinner that you don't want to go to? So here is what you must practice. The next time that your gut says no, I want you to honor it. Start very small. Someone invites you to something, to say thanks. Thank you. Explanation. It's just thank you.
No.
90 days ago, I stacking up deposits, and your subconscious starts believing that you'll actually take care of the life that you've been asking the universe to give you. And that belief is the green light for everything that you've been waiting for. Stop abandoning yourself in the small moments. The big moments are built on the small ones. And like this video, if you'd be so kind of comment down below. I'm honoring myself now. And if you need help staying in this frequency,
We studied hundreds of sudden winners and put it into an 80-hour program that literally forces your subconscious to accept your win in life. You can check it out below. And also check out the description to start your 7-day free trial of Gaia TV. Start filling your mind with the exact content needed to live the life that you wish to live.
When I moved to a different country, I felt very lonely. I was far from my friends and the family and people that I loved. But then I found a community full of love that helped me draw closer to Jesus Christ.
Oh, hi, hi, hi. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah. All right, mate. Oh God.
Videos of trees moving. Now this looks really weird. It was caught on drone footage, as you can see. It seemed like the trees are moving, or at least one of the trees is moving wildly, communicating with the other trees. Now they do say that trees do move like 2 to 3